Good morning. All right. So we have a drone stock along over the weekend. We had some sort of government contract going out for drones on Friday from Pete Hegseth. And so drones have been running pretty nicely since Friday. Now UMAC is interesting because this was one of the big drone stocks and they had an offering. So right here, guess we got the news at 9 o'clock on UMAC. So they did a $48.5 million offering. Of course, that's going to be taking it right back down. Not exactly what we wanted to see for our swing. We kind of dodged UMAC because we're in UAVS, which is actually still working. UAVS long from 180 or 160, I mean. Let me fix this. So that one's still working. I don't like to see the main runner getting taken out like that. That's usually a bad sign. But it was on an offering. So we could still see a spike here in the morning on UAVS. Something to keep an eye out for. That is the risk of holding over the weekend. So it looks like UAVS is the best performing drone stock now, other than, well, it was UMAC. RCAT looking okay, but I don't like it as much as UAVS. You know, none of these other ones look that good. So yeah, we'll give this a chance to run into the open at least. All right, let's look at some gappers here. We got Dare. This is some sort of biotech. Got some trial news on it. I'm trying a small short on it. New strategy. So let's see. We got to make sure this one's on the watch list. All right, we have that. Look at that. That thing might squeeze. What else do we have? Actually, let's check the news on this. Phase 3 trial results. That's pretty much all we need to know. Currently no FDA approved, hormone-free. SONN. This one had Bitcoin Treasury news. Of course, we've been seeing this again. No events on calendar for today. That's good. Good to know. Okay. 800 million cryptocurrency treasury reserve strategy. Nice. This one's already up and down. Could have tried the short on this one, but a little late to the party. Also doing small size, and this one had big fees, so not worth. SDST. What do we got here? Running on nothing. So we might try the short on this. Let's take a look here. Gotta put some stuff on watch. SDST. Yeah. A lot to watch here. SQFD. What do we got? I don't see any news on this. So up on no news again. Let's see, gotta put this on watch. Four. Okay. MGRM. Okay, I haven't seen this one yet this morning. Okay, so it got halted on news pending. And then they said after that, announces agreement to acquire Monogram Technologies, expanding robotics suite with autonomous solutions. Announced they have entered into an agreement for Zimmer Biomet to acquire all outstanding shares of Monogram at $4 a share. $4 a share. I don't really like buyout news, so I'll just avoid this one altogether. Not my thing. Dare is squeezing okay. OP is up and down. This one's up and down. Okay, that's pretty much it. I have to cut this dare short. This thing is looking pretty vicious. This is the leading gapper. Yep, gonna cut that. Didn't really hit my stop yet, but that one is pretty wild. Maybe that's what stops me out here. See what this does at $10 here. So I had MSTR long over the weekend and sold that into the gap up. Little Bitcoin breakout play. So we'll see if UAVS is able to push at the open. Looking to sell this into the open. It's got a chance to spike pretty good. Although, drones kind of don't seem like they're having a ton of follow through right now. Keep an eye on Dare here. Dare is potentially topped out, but we're going to find out in a minute if it keeps going or not. So it has hit the magic number at $10. $10 is the magic number. Definitely could be a wild one out of the open. right, let's see what Bitcoin's doing. It's at 122. Gapping up as we predicted. So MSTR gapping up with it. Okay, so usually Mondays are more choppy. That's how it's been in the past for us in the big caps, especially. So let's not get too crazy today because we've been doing good, it seems like, except for on Mondays. So we are going to try some of these big cap trades too, if we get them. But for whatever reason, Mondays have been tough over the past several weeks. And then Tuesday is the day to make money. So far, Dare just did a pre-market high fake out. See if that is the high or not. Should be the high. Tesla pull back to 310 area. Focused on that. It says Nugent. Yep, gonna keep an eye on that. Yeah, we gotta be careful with that one too because it's just one of those things. You don't know if it's gonna work right away. The first try might not work. And we might get chopped up a little bit before we get some follow through on it. So we have to be careful about that. But I like the pattern here. I like this higher low. And then this algo is long. So yeah, I'll be thinking about that one today. I do see a trend line right here in Tesla. So if it comes back to 310, it's going to be breaking this trend line, but also that's where maybe it holds the trend line and then it could chop under it a little bit and still hold. I like this pattern when Tesla though. It looks like a massive wedge. Something like that. And then we're coming off the bottom of the wedge, maybe going back to the top of the wedge. Get rid of this one. See, this one was back here. So far, Dare's looking like a fake out. I got scammed. No other amazing looking shorts for me. All right, we'll see how we do with UAVS at the Open. It's not super inspiring to see UMAC getting slammed, but it did have an offering. Now UAVS is kind of the leader in the drone sector. And UAVS is on the verge of a major breakout. It's actually broken out. On the daily. So about 164 is the breakout level, 165 area. So we are through that, barely. But if we don't get big follow through, then it's going to turn into probably just a big failed breakout. And then we'll have a big red day today. So we won't stick around for too long in that. Give it a chance to morning spike. Maybe even just risk break even on it. Something like that. Maybe risk like $1.50. Pre-market low, $1.55. Something like that. All right, we'll see what Dare does here at the Open. 4 minutes to the Open. Needs to hold 170 area. Ideally, it could always do like some kind of dip and rip move. A morning dip hold. Would not be surprising. The thing is, since UMAC died, because of the offering, now things are more shaky. But we'll see. UAVS is now the leader of the drones, as far as I can tell. Buyers may jump over to UAVS for sympathy. Yeah, that could happen. We'll see how it opens up here. If it spikes out of the gate, then I'll want to sell pretty quick into whatever I get. If it dips, then I want to see some kind of 10 a.m. reclaim. What else can I short? All the shorts are already done, pretty much. SDST is the only potential. So we need bounce backs. Oh, I saw something interesting in the hyper scalpers sphere. There's this whole community that loves to hyper scalp. They take hundreds of trades basically a day, like 500 trades a day. Just locking in super small moves. And they're starting to get shut down by Schwab. So they're basically gaming the market order system on Schwab, because I think it's pretty good. But some of those guys are getting shut down, and they're just having their accounts closed because they're taking advantage of the system, basically. Kind of interesting. They should start charging commissions. No, let's not have that. I think I'm going to just risk break even-ish on UAVS. Tesla, wow, insane. Yeah, small cap's super slow right now. We just have Dare. Uh, UAVS if it can hold up. I do like the dip. If it can do a dip hold. And hold the morning dip, hang out for a while, then we could see something. And there's still a chance it's just a mega, failed breakout move and could turn to a all day red day, all day fade. So we'll see. It all depends on this dip hold in the morning. You added to UAVS, all right. Yeah, Tesla's nuts. Tesla's going to 340, I bet. MSCR spiking out of the gate. Coin kind of pop and drop. That's potential for Tesla too. Could be pop and drop action. Dare has some mega squeeze potential. But odds are it goes down. Wow, MP is spiking nicely. Mineral stock. Rare earth. Yeah, UAVS holding up okay. Still probably risking break even on it. Rule of thumb, rule of dumb. I like how it pulled back to the previous day's high. And it's, so far it's holding. It would be nice if this is low a day. Pretty much needs to be for me to stay in. Okay, hood pulling back. Hood is actually a pretty beautiful looking breakout on the daily. It's a nice flag. Hasn't broken out yet. So honestly, hood looks like a potential swing. But yeah, Mondays have been kind of slow lately. So not going to get too crazy. Nvidia short sig. Yeah, I could see Tesla. So Tesla's looking like pop and drop action now. Probably wants to fill the gap because it did gap up some. So wouldn't be surprised if it pulls back to 314. It's a little short-term trend on it. Yeah, I'm just looking at from the 7.9, 7.10 area trend line. All right, Dare coming down a bit. Just covered Dare. Took a loss on it for no reason earlier, but now we're like break even on it. All right, out of UAVS, not working. Not sure if SIG's totally working right now. But NVIDIA is getting that amazing trigger right here. Wow. All right, well, that one's already hitting the target. You gotta be jumping on them out of the gate like this. Things can just move so fast. So yeah, UAVS is looking like a failed breakout. So this is new, just I'll mention this really quick. This is a swing strategy for Tesla. So here's the back test for it. Compounding since 2022, it's up 1.3 million. And starting with $50,000 account. So that's kind of what we're looking at on Tesla. It is currently long. It's long at 313. Yeah, so I added the breakout buying last night, and that's what kind of bumped it up a little bit more. Improved the trade stats too. So it's not bad. There's the three main stats here are sharp, which the sharp could be better. The sharp is the volatility metric. But for this strategy, it's fine. And that's basically how choppy your gains are, how smooth does your P&L curve look, stuff like that. The Sortino ratio, it's measuring your drawdown. So I think above a 1 is really good, or around a 1 is really good, and this is 1.2, 1.9, I mean. I think 2 is really, really good. So we're almost at pretty much as good as it can be on that one. And the profit factor is insanely good too. So it's basically, it says if you have over a 2 profit factor, you're doing really good. So we're at 3.26 profit factor on that. Which it does warn that that's on the verge of overfitting. but I don't see how it could be overfitting because I haven't done anything crazy. It's just like some simple moving average crossover stuff with a little bit of volatility and some simple breakout logic, stuff like that. And then if things get too crazy, it will lock in. So that's pretty much all it's doing. So yeah, it takes 117 trades since 2022. And then it works on other stocks too, which I wasn't even looking at. So this is another way to test overfitting issues like NVIDIA. So it does work the best on Tesla, but Tesla's just the best trader all around. So NVIDIA is doing 170,000. So it's still 300%, which destroys the market. A buy and hold S&P strategy. And then let's see what else. CVNA. Checked Carvana. Yeah, Carvana did 1 million. A little bit choppier start here though. So it's kind of like a nice swing strategy whenever things are moving well. That's pretty much it. Even something like Boeing. Boeing is up 150,000, almost 300%. Okay, Apple's getting hit pretty hard. NVIDIA maybe gonna bounce here. UNH SIG. Yeah, I do have a swing along on UNH. All right, D-Dog, kind of a trend break on D-Dog. I am looking for this, hopefully to hold up, but I don't know. I don't have a ton of confidence in it at the moment. Really, maybe let it do some work and get back up to the 150s before I even buy it. I don't know. Really want to see it continue quite a bit higher. Really speculative one though. Dare is just fading beautifully so far. Super nice. Wow, PLTR is just straight up. Amazing. It wants to get back to the top of this channel. So there's a channel right here. Looks like it's trying to get back up there. So the calls I sold on GameStop at $23 per contract, they're now worth 11. So we're doing really good on that trade. So call sells are just super appealing. If you can get into a stock that doesn't go down much and it has high IV, it's pretty good. See ya, Scotty. Have a good one. Yeah, not a ton today for me. Everything's super weak. Maybe buy Tesla if it gets oversold. Tesla, let's see. The thing is, it's got the morning spike fill, so it's up 3 days in a row now. So this is day 3. It wants to fill the gap still. So 314 is the gap fill. So it seems like, I don't know, yeah, it seems like it wants to come back some more to me. Now the updated algo for the swing idea, it's in at 313. So let me go back to Tesla. Yeah, it's right around 313 is where it's in. It was 308, but the updated one is 313 with the breakout behind. So it's in a pretty big wedge, though. It does seem like it wants to go to the top of the wedge. In the bigger picture. So I don't know. Yeah, 313, maybe an okay entry spot, but that's what the algo would do. Yeah, if it does like a morning dip hold sort of reclaim, maybe it's okay. But I don't know. Every Monday so far has been weak. So why wouldn't today be weak? We are on the third green day and it's on a gap up morning spike fill already. So usually that's a top out signal. At least for the short term. Dare's coming down more. I didn't dare to hold it. That was dumb. Should have just held it. Not a lot I can do right now. Not seeing a ton. The main play is, like I said last week, is Bitcoin. So the Bitcoin breakout's working great. Here's MSTR. So breaking out with Bitcoin really, really nicely. I had it long on Friday around 432. So I sold into the gap today. That's going to be the best opportunity probably today. So I wouldn't chase anything. I wouldn't get too crazy on anything else. Hood still hasn't broken out yet. It's consolidating right at the highs. Really threatening to break out. So seems like a swing potential there to try to hold for this breakout. Maybe like 100 to 115. D-Dog holding up. Kind of a trend break here on D-Dog. I don't know. I don't really trust it yet. Super speculative, but I think this one could push. I don't know. If this holds up, probably going up towards 200. Pretty much needs to be, the bottom needs to be around 135. That needs to be the bottom. Might add to my UNH swing. Iron. Oh. Core weave. Got a sig on hood. Now SPY does look like it's sort of breakdown pullback. Here's my line. So I have a big one. There's a big line. Could easily reclaim that. Watching NVIDIA for a breakdown pullback. All right. I've got a decent trend line here. It's pulling back to it at the moment. I don't mind this hood signal because I think hood's along anyways for the breakout. We'll maybe see what it does on this pullback here. Yep, pretty slow day. I don't mind hoodie though. Hood looks like the best for me. Gonna try hood long here, risking the $100 level. Let's see, the only other short potential is SQFT on small cap. What do we got? This thing's halted down. It's kind of gross. Also, the bar was out of control on it. SDST. And this here still going, nice. Doubling up my hood. I think hood could follow MSTR. Gonna risk the wick now. Yeah, I'll risk 100. Come on, Hood. Let's see it. Let's see the breakout. D-Dog kind of holding up pretty good. Yeah, I still think Hood could do it. All right. Well, I think I'm going to call it there. Got to get going. Pretty slow morning, as pretty much expected. That's how it's been every Monday pretty much the past couple months, it seems like. But yeah, going to call it there. Good luck, everyone. We're back tomorrow.